Yeah, I'm Boom Gonzales. Thank you very much for having me on your show. And for everybody watching here in UST, hello. I am currently an anchor in the UAAP, also for the NBA and the PVL, all under Signal TV. I know there was a question about what am I known for. I guess that would be the number one thing in the top of the head of most people is the UAAP, basketball, and volleyball. Well, first of all, we try to assess certain strengths. There's no such thing as weakness. Some talents have very strong presence on TV. Some talents have a great voice quality also. Some have all of that. And then there are some talents who want to be on TV, but we discover are even better in production. We have talents who are doing both. I'm so impressed because they're so advanced in terms of the things that they know already. But I also want to be careful about what they learn. I think one of the things that I'm always looking out for when it comes to talents is not for them to hurry. They accidentally skip steps. My job basically is, because there's so much talent right now, my job is to kind of rein them in and facilitate the correct way of learning, which is one by one, step by step. The how, I train them with a lot of enthusiasm. And that's why I love also the UAP, because there's always new stories to tell, new athletes to cover. I always make sure that I'm at a mindset of this is a blessing, this is a gift from God, and this is the work that He has given. I always make sure that my heart is open for more blessings and more work and more people to work with. I make sure that I realize that this is not a solo job. Just like your show, there are so many people who make this show happen. I may be the one in front of the camera, but our real grinders are the ones who are behind the camera. And then there are the physical things. I eat way before the show. I am early to the venue always because I don't like being rushed, because I want to settle down and I want to be on TV calm, relaxed, and in control of certain things. It was a marathon. It was a Milo marathon. I was still a student and I was a radio DJ at that time. I forgot, it was a game zone, no, something like that. They hired me as a student and as a DJ to cover a Milo marathon. How was it? It was nerve-wracking. It was fun. I guess you could say that I got bitten by the bug since then, and I pursued TV after. Yes.
Hi Boom, this is Andy Cunha, one of Tiger TV sports correspondent and the executive producer of the Frontrunners. Gusto ko lamang itanong, sa likod ng bawat laro at luha ng sakripisyo, paano mo hinuhugot ang tunay na kwento ng isang atleta para manatiling buhay sa alaala ng mga tao?
Ang lagi namin iniisip pagdating dyan sa mga ganyan is individual story of the athletes talaga is very important. Our thrust always, even for Signal TV, is to promote the league and to protect the league. To promote the players and to protect the players. Kaya naiintindihan namin, lalo na sa mundo ng UAAP, ay mga estudyante pa rin to, mga bata pa rin to, and mistakes are part of it.
Hi Boom, I'm Ikay, a Tiger jock here at Tiger Radio, and my only question for you is that was there a time that you had a funny interaction or interview with an athlete?
Many. Do I have funny interactions? Just last night with one of your superstars. So Josh Ibanez was on my show, and I had this very parang elaborate question, and he was staring at me as Josh would do. Tingin siya sa mga katabi niya, and then tumingin siya uli sa akin. Ano nga huli yun? So we had to repeat it, and everybody was laughing on the show.
Hi Boom, I'm Leia, and my question is, outside of work, what do you enjoy doing that people might be surprised to know?
That is a very good question, Dave. Because I am a very private person. But I am also very simple. First of all, I love being a father. I'm a new father. I've been a father for almost 3 years. and it's the greatest thing in my life right now, taking care of my son. So I love playing with my son and his playmates.
Hi Boom, this is Naomi, an aspiring sports correspondent, and I want to ask you, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received that's kept you going for years?
Well, I kind of alluded to it earlier that you're never too old to learn new things. You're only as good or as bad as your last show, your last report, your last broadcast. If you don't consolidate that good report with another good report, hindi naman mawawalan bisa yun, but the momentum that you create from one broadcast or one report to another, it gets a little bit affected. So you gotta take games, shows, and reports, and every time you go on cam as an individual thing. And another great advice that was given to me was, you better be doing this for the right reasons. The reason has to be you love this media business. You love the craft. You love being in front of the camera or behind the camera. You love editing. You love the aspects of editing. You love the craft and the art, not what it can give.
Hi Boom, my name is Stacy and I'm a news sports correspondent. And during one of my live broadcasts, I made a mistake, and that's when I realized how hard it was to keep my composure. So I want to ask, how do you personally handle mistakes or slip-ups during live broadcasts? And what are your advice for news sports correspondents like me?
Mistakes will happen. You cannot have a perfect broadcast show, and that means there's nothing to work on. Preparation is always key. It doesn't guarantee 100% success, but it gives you a better chance. And then the rest is you have to experience it. You have to go through it. Some people will make mistakes from the first broadcast, and some people will have a perfect broadcast but make mistake on the second time that they go on cam. So it's no guarantee. So the advice that I always give, even in workshops, is one, preparation is the ultimate key. And two, you gotta be solid with your fundamentals and your basics. Because when you make a mistake, that's where you go back to your basics.
Hi Boom, first I'd like to thank you for being with us here today. My name is Zachko from UST Tiger Radio and UST Tiger TV Sports Unit. So I'd like to ask, in behalf of all the volleyball fans out there, what has been your most favorite volleyball match, whether it may be in the collegiate or in the pros, that you think left a significant impact in Philippine volleyball history?
Ooh, man, I hate that question because unfortunately and fortunately, I've done 1,000 games, obviously. I've been part of some great moments, the biggest crowd in history for the PBL. I've been the first ever Araneta game between Ateneo and LaSalle. And then there are the ones that people don't talk about in terms of volleyball. The FEU Adamson finals from long ago. The UST Ateneo finals where Aya got injured. Yeah, that's not my favorite moment, but it just makes a mark on you. To pick one kind of belittles the whole experience in terms of volleyball, 16, 17 years of covering volleyball. Because there's just too many to mention. Hello, this is Boom Gonzales, and this is the UST's premier sports show, the Frontrunners. First in line, legacy through time.